Hello everyone, this is Gayle, and I am going to show you today how to make a quick pair of earrings, red, white, and blue earrings for Memorial Day, 4th of July, anytime you want to wear your country's pride on your ears if you're from the United States. I'm going to be using R.J. Crafts cutter set number 66, which is called diamond earrings, and I've got two sizes, and I believe this is the largest and this is probably the smallest. I tend to wear smaller earrings. I know a lot of people like larger earrings. This large cutter is about 1 3/4 inches from here to here, so it's really not that big, but it's bigger than what I normally wear. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to use the big one mainly because it shows up better on my camera. And I have some of the new Sculpey colors. These are the Primo colors. This is navy blue and cayenne. And even though cayenne is not a true red, I love the color and it really looks nice next to this blue. So I'm going to use that, and of course some white. So first of all, I'm going to take the cutters and I'm going to cut two of these shapes. And I will admit, these are the older style cutters from R.J. Crafts. Rhonda has changed these, tweaked them a little bit, and has gotten to where the cutting edges are a little bit smaller and sharper, so you won't get the same amount of clay edges left on it as I will probably have. But I love her cutters. There's no place else I've ever been that has not only the variety of cutters that she carries, but also the fact that if you have a design and she doesn't have it, if you let her know, she'll make one for you. You just can't beat that. I apologize for that. I should have known I needed to have it on the glass so it will stick here. But now back to what I was doing. I'm going to cut two of the top part, and I want to make sure that I get the clay below this because I want this piece in red. So I've got that lined up. And I like to give it a little twist, and then I'll do it again over here. Make sure it's pressed down all the way, and then give it a little twist. And this is what we're going to use for our earrings. Now let me take the red away. And actually on this one, I want to only keep the little piece on the inside. And because this is her older cutters, I will probably clean this up a little bit. You won't have to do this on any of the new ones that you order from her because she's changed the design. Now what you're seeing is mainly stuck on the glass. It's not actually stuck on the piece of clay. But I just want to give you an idea of if you feel like you need to clean it up. I'll pick it up in a minute and I'll show you if there's anything that needs to be cleaned off. So on the blue, let me pull the blue away. And I need to clean my little kidney. This is much easier to use than my blade, but I have a tendency to use it and then I never clean it off. And this new clay is rather sticky, and I didn't leach it. So let me get a clean piece of patty paper, and I'm going to lift this up. Try not to get it deformed. Like I said, this clay is very sticky. It's very soft. And you can see a little bit of the clay left on the outside, but if you just take your finger and run over it, it goes away. So, you know, And with, like I said, with the new cutters, you won't have this problem because the new cutters leave very little, if any, residual clay on here. But let me lay this on here. And I'll do the same with the other one. Like I say, try not to distort it. But for those of you that have some of the older RJ Crafts cutters, this is how you get rid of the little bit of residual clay that might be left on your piece. So I'll put that down. And because it's so sticky, it's picking up every little fingerprint, so I will probably end up having to texture this, but I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to take the inside of this one out. And the inside of this one out. And maybe I will use my blade. It seems to pick it up easier. I'm going to clean up my red. And I'm going to clean up a little bit in here, even though the red is going to cover it up, only because this clay is so soft, it is distorted a little bit, and I'll have to press it in, and I just don't want to press any blue into the red. That one looked fine. So I'm going to put this in here, and you can see how much it's stretched. So what I'm going to do is put it in there, then I'm going to pull the top down. And I'm going to do the same on the other one. This doesn't seem to be quite as sticky as the blue, but the navy blue is real sticky. You might even want to leach your clay before you use it. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably just use this. This is just scrubby sponge. I use it a lot of times for texture. And there's a little piece of something that was stuck on here. From the last time I used it. Let me make sure nothing is stuck on there. But I'll use that on this side also. And it's just to kind of give it some texture. Cover up your fingerprints. And what I might do with the white is texture it ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and texture this just so it'll match. Hopefully it'll match. Okay, so I've got these, and I'm going to poke a little hole. This probably isn't the best tool to poke a hole with. I'll just use my needle tool. I'm going to poke a little hole right here in the top so I can get this mounted as an earring. Then I'm going to take my Kemper cutter, and I have some star Kemper cutters. I love my Kemper cutters, but this is the small star. It is not quite a half an inch, a little more than 3/8, but not quite a half. And I'm going to cut 2 stars. And because I put it on my glass, they're going to stick to my glass. Let me wipe my blade off so I don't get any colors on my white stars. Whoops, where'd the other star go? It's still in here. And I'm going to place this star. Actually, I'm going to put it on the glass first because I want to clean this up a little bit too. If you have a clay shaper, which would be a little tool like this, you can use these with the little rubber tips just to clean up the edges a little bit before I put it on the navy blue clay. Now clean this one up a little bit. Even the metal cutters leave a little residual clay on the outside, and as long as you're not picky about the design, it doesn't really matter. But in this case, since I'm going to put a white star on red, I want to make sure it's correct. So I'm going to take my star and put it right in the middle of my red. And you can take your shaper to put it where you want it. I want it to move a little bit more, but it seems to be sticking to this clay already, even though I haven't pushed it down. I'm just going to leave it where it is. Just make sure it's where you want it before you lay it down, because this clay is so sticky it's grabbing it pretty well. And let's see, I've got that point going up this way. And because I've touched it, I'm going to press it down with the sponge again. And there you go. There are some really cute little earrings. I'm going to bake this at 275 for, I always bake mine for an hour, especially if they're earrings or jewelry. I'm going to bake it for an hour, and then I'll be back. I forgot to show you, I am going to take it off of this patty paper because I don't want to leave the back shiny. If you turn it over, and want to texture the back, it would be a good idea. Don't press too hard because you don't want it to stick too much, and you don't want to flatten out your star. Then I lay it on a piece of cardstock. Just make sure the shape is the way you want it. My hole closed up a little bit because of my pressing on it, so let me just refine the holes. Anything else you see, now is the time to do it, or you can sand the edges if you want when you're finished, but I think this looks fine. So again, I'm going to bake this for an hour, and then I'll be back. Okay, they are out of the oven. I added a coat of Deep Shine UV resin or UV finish on them to give them a little bit of a shine, and we are all set. I hooked 2 jump rings together and then put them on an earring, and there are your Patriotic earrings. So I hope you enjoyed this. Come back again soon for another tutorial. Bye-bye.